Hey guys, here's your favorite instructor here, Wilson. Um, I hope that everybody's fine after these two winter storms that we have had in the past 5 days. One of the reasons that I decided to cancel class last night was because it was kind of dangerous to be driving around it, and I was hoping that Kirkwood would cancel class, but they didn't, so I decided just to cancel it. And I hope everybody's fine, and having fun removing the snow from your driveways and things like that. So uh, one thing that I want you guys to work on this week is on the project scope. So I'm gonna do a little walkthrough on the checklist, and then I'll do another walkthrough on another project scope example. So first of all, this is kind of the checklist. So I created this checklist in order for you to really evaluate yourself and your project. So I provide you some feedback. So after you are done, I really want you to take the checklist and make sure that you have these kind of things. And I'm gonna explain what includes elements in red means in a little bit. So let's talk about just about the project objective for a little bit. So the project objective, uh, each goal should have at least three things as minimum. The goal or objective should explain what you are trying to accomplish, should explain when the project is going to be completed, and explain how much or how many parts will be completed. So again, like your project objective or your project goal provides you with the overall objective. So it has to be really, really specific. And again, we talked about this in class. And again, if you have any questions, you can just email me or participate on the discussion forum that will be available in this section of the class. So one thing that I want to address now is the deliverables, and here deliverables. One thing that I noticed that there wasn't inconsistent between some people, adding the project. Some things that you guys are going to include in class and some people didn't do it. So to kind of have a consistency among all the projects, these are things that are expect, or we're going to put it this way, these are things that are expected to be delivered in a web design project, and it's expected for you to have these things in red in your project scope. So, and these are things that we're going to be working on class. So again, like these are expected things. So you should have your project scope, your Gantt chart, and your personas. And we're going to be working on this in the next couple of weeks. And also at the same time, we were saying that we're working on site diagrams, wireframes, navigation schemes, and those kind of things. So we're going to be working all these things. And these should be deliverables that you should have all the time when you are working on web design or web development projects. So these are the very minimum that we're going to create in class. So here I have a note. So after these deliverables, you should be able to provide 5 more that you're going to create after the prototypes. So again, the class is gonna focus in until the prototypes. That's where we're gonna stop. But I want you just to think what elements you might create, or what deliverables will you create after the prototypes. You don't have to do it, but I just want to challenge you a little bit on this, and I want you to think about this. Like, if I had to really implement this project as a real project, what things I'm going to do after the prototypes. So this is a good exercise for you. And I want you to at least provide 5 of these things. And again, if you have any questions, just let me know. Milestones, and sorry, I'm still kind of sick. Deliverables and milestones are kind of together. So you use your deliverables as a platform to identify major segments of work, and you attach an end date. So if you notice here, I added as minimum as required all these things. And again, you have to at least add more file milestones, which are basically based on the development phase that you're going to be writing down here. So, and these are really arbitrary dates. Don't change them. I'm just gonna be focusing more on the milestones after the prototypes. So you can just copy and paste this if you want to. So in technical requirements, I want you to think about the technical requirements clarified how the deliverable is gonna look like, or it's gonna define how the deliverable is gonna, what is the performance there. So a technical requirement is not, it cannot be like website will be HTML5 compliance. Not anymore. So you cannot put those kind of things. Like for example, like my website is gonna have a slideshow carousel. That's too generic. Like basically that's not a technical specification or a technical requirement. A technical requirement could be, if I'm creating an e-commerce website, the technical requirement there could be my site must accept PayPal payments. That's a technical requirement. Or for example, and I have an example, a new example, project scope example that I'm gonna do also a video walkthrough. So you're gonna see what I'm talking about. So again, technical requirements, performance specifications, or clarify how the deliverables are gonna behave. Project constraints define the boundaries of the project and also contains what is not included in the project. So again, just think about things that you need to consider during the phases of the project, or think about elements that are not included in the project. So for example, if we are working on an e-commerce site, one of the constraints could be my project is not going to accept credit card payments, just PayPal. So that's a constraint. So just think about those kind of things. And at the end, also the customer review. And this is important because basically your users, even though they're going to be evaluating how your site, how they interact with the site and providing feedback, you always will have this situation when the customer or the person who is paying you to build the website is going to be the one who's going to give you the thumbs up. So in this case, it's me. So this is the only customer that you have at this point in this particular project. Again, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email or participate on the discussion forum that I'll be setting up for this particular segment of the course, and see you around.